Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome to the first one in the March series for these live classes. So in today's class, I want to have a focus. We're going to talk a little bit this month about koshas, which is probably a new concept to some of you, most of you. And koshas are kind of like these layers. So if you think about a Russian doll, it's kind of like these different layers of yourself. And this month I wanted to talk a little bit about those layers. And today we're going to focus on the outer one, which is called Annamaya Kosha, which is basically like your physical body. So we should all be able to really get a sense of that with our practice. Doesn't really mean anything special for the practice, apart from I'm just going to cue you a little bit more about really feeling into your physical body. So we'll just really focus on the sensations in our body, in really like feeling the ground if we're standing, and just really tuning into our physical bodies for it, which hopefully we would do in a physical practice anyway. So we're going to start seated. You can have legs extended if it's uncomfortable to sit cross-legged, otherwise sitting cross-legged is fine. And we're just going to try and get our sit bones nice and even on the mat, or you can prop a pillow up or a blanket if you need a little bit of support. And just placing hands on knees to begin with. So you can either have them palms down, which is a more grounding way to sit, or you can have palms up, which is kind of a receptive way. So just see what feels comfortable for you today. Just gently closing your eyes and trying to sit with a nice long spine. And to begin with, we'll just focus on the breath. So with this focus on our physical body, on the Annamaya Kosha, we're just going to start by noticing the changes in our body with the breath. So just notice the areas that are moving with the breath. Notice any sensations, if you can feel the breath through your nostrils, brushing against your lips as it comes out. Just noticing how fast or slow the breath is without trying to control it at this stage. And when we're sitting here, just trying to really notice your sit bones and notice how the body's feeling. So rather than work our way down from the head this time, we're going to start with focusing on the parts that are in contact with the floor. So starting off by noticing our sit bones, maybe our hips, our ankles, our knees, all the areas that are either in contact with the mat or close to the mat. Just checking in with how they're feeling physically. And then working our way up the spine, so noticing how the lower back is feeling this evening. Seeing if you can maybe sit up a little bit taller, lengthening through the spine. Checking in with the center of the back, the torso. Then up to the upper back, up through the shoulder blades, up to the shoulders. Noticing how the shoulders are feeling, if there's any tension there, any discomfort. Whether you feel like they're kind of hunching and rounding in, or whether they're quite open. And coming up again, checking in with the neck this time. Softening through the jaw, just notice if you're clenching it all again. Is there any tension you're holding on to, any tension from your day? Finally up to the eyes, the forehead. Just notice if there's any tension across your brow. See if you can soften and relax it. And checking in with your breath again. So has your breath settled into a nice natural pattern? Or is it still quite shallow? And try and draw the breath all the way down to the tummy. So just really deep, mindful breaths, breathing through the nose. Deep breath down to the tummy. And then slow exhale through the nose. So just paying attention to any areas of discomfort, any sensations that you found. Just noticing anything around you with your senses, anything you can smell, anything you can hear. Taking yourself out of any sort of monkey mind thoughts and into the present moment. And then before we get started with our practice, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale fully through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth. And then one more the same. Just returning to breathing evenly through your nose. Gently blinking the eyes open. Turning the palms over if you had them facing up. Just having any little wiggles of your spine if you need to. And then you can do this with legs extended or legs crossed. We're going to bring right hand down to the mat, reach the left arm up and stretch it over. So trying to keep both sit bones grounded and really reaching the left fingertips away from you, feeling a stretch down the side of the body. So in this practice, really want to be really noticing the sensations in our body and making sure that we're sticking to our limits and not pushing ourselves into anything that's too far. Coming back to center. On an inhale, reaching the right arm up this time, and exhale, stretching it over to the side. So you're bending into the left elbow, stretching the arm over and trying to keep the chest open, facing towards the front. Nice deep breaths, as if you're sending the breath into the side of your body. Coming back to center. Inhale, reach both arms up this time. Exhale, twisting open to your right hand side, and we'll try and bring the right fingertips behind us. Left hand is going to come to the right knee. And then take another inhale, reach the spine up long, and exhale, twisting. So rotating the torso as far as you can. Again, just being mindful of any sensations in the body. Twists are really, really good for any back issues, but we want to make sure we're keeping nice and straight and long in the spine. Focusing on the rotation. Take an inhale as we come back to center, reach the arms up, and on your next exhale, twisting to the other side. So this time left fingertips behind you, right hand's coming to the left knee. Inhale again, stretching the spine up long, and exhale, seeing if we can twist a little bit further to the left. Now, if you've got any neck issues at all, I know what that's like. You can keep your head always in line with your body. You don't have to turn it, but if it's okay to do so, you can turn the head as well. So you're doing a full rotation all the way up to the cervical spine, the neck. On your next inhale, back to center, reaching the arms up, placing them back down. And one more on each side. So inhale, left arm reaches up, exhale, stretching over. Inhale back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, stretching it over. Inhale, center, and then exhale here. Inhale, reaching both arms up. Exhale, twisting open to your right. Inhaling again, reaching the spine up, and exhale, twist a little bit further. Inhale, coming back to center, reaching the arms up. Exhale, twisting to your left. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, to see if you can rotate the torso a little more to the left. Inhale, back to center, reaching the arms up. Drawing the hands down to the heart, interlacing the fingers, and then pushing the hands away. So just notice how your shoulders feel here. Notice if you're kind of clamping them up towards your ears. Try and release them down away from the ears. And focus on kind of pushing forward and trying to draw the shoulder blades apart. We hold so much tension in our bodies sometimes. We just get into patterns of tension without even realizing that we're doing it. And yes, I'm just as guilty as you guys for doing that. And then just releasing the hands down to the mat. If your legs are feeling a little bit uncomfortable crossed, you can always extend them out, or you can swap over the cross just to stretch into the other hip slightly. So just moving them so that the opposite leg's in front. I'm going to come into a forward fold. So if your legs are crossed, we're going to creep the fingertips forward. Try and think about keeping the spine nice and long, reaching the crown of the head forward, and keeping the fingertips on the mat. So kind of really stretching the crown of the head forward, trying to keep the sit bones grounded. If you are legs extended, we're going to try and keep the back quite flat and just coming forward. Again, reaching the crown of the head away. So whichever version works for you. If your legs are extended, just stay where you are. If you're sitting cross-legged, we're just going to come up again onto the fingertips, walk the hands over to the right hand side. So we're stretching over the right leg. Noticing if we have any sensation in our left hand side. On the side of the body maybe. Walking the hands back to centre and over to the other side. Again, just noticing any sensations, noticing if it's different on this side to the other. Can you guys hear that? It sounds like there's a plane directly above me, about a metre above my head. And bringing the hands back to centre if you were doing so, walking them back in towards you. Coming all the way back up, just shrugging the shoulders a few times. And then if you did have the legs crossed, now's a good time to extend them out. You might want to give your knees a little rest, give them a little shake out. I'm just going to roll the shoulders a few times. So just rolling them back nice and mindfully. Rolling them forward. And then coming over onto hands and knees. So just bringing hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Coming through a few rounds of cat and cow curls. So we want to do this again, really focusing on the body and focusing on the spine. So on the inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, lifting the tailbone, just checking in with how the spine's feeling. Exhale, rounding the spine as if you were doing it one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, looking up, and exhale to round. Now, if you do have any lower back pain, sometimes you'll find that there's parts of your spine that you tend to keep quite solid and rigid. Mine is my lower back. So you want to try and see if you can get the movement into all the different areas of your spine. So you're not just doing it in one part. Just moving with your own breath. You might want to pause to breathe into any tight spots that you find. Making this your last one. Exhale, rounding, and then inhaling back to a neutral spine this time. Just walking the hands forward slightly. We're going to come into a really gentle puppy pose. So just stretching forward, dropping the chest down towards the mat. Your forehead may or may not reach. Just taking a few deep breaths here. If your forehead's not reaching, you can always prop up with a block. Fold your hands underneath. And then just walking your hands back towards you, we're going to sit back onto our heels. I know this one can be quite intense for some people, so just see how you go again. It's all about tuning into your body and sensations. To tuck the toes under, you might need to just shuffle them so that they're all underneath you, and see if you can sit your weight back onto the heels. If it's too intense for you, just shift your weight forward more into your hands to take the pressure off. If you are here, just bring your hands to your heart. Gently close your eyes for a moment. And just see if you can be fully present with any sensations that are there. So just notice if there's any tightness, any discomfort, maybe no sensation at all. Just 2 more deep breaths. Releasing the hands down to the mat. Release the feet, maybe give the toes a little tap out. And then walking the hands forward, spreading fingers nice and wide. We're going to set up for our first downward dog. So tucking the toes under behind you, pushing hips up and back. So excuse me 1 sec while I sort my jumper out. So when you're in your downward dog, the first one of your practice, you may want to be pedaling the feet. So bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel down, and then vice versa, just to try and stretch into the hamstrings. And just noticing how your lower back is feeling. And if it does feel sensitive at all, you feel like you're not getting the length into it, just bending the knees as much as you need. So rather than being really rounded to try and push your legs straight, you can bend your knees as much as you need so you can get the hips up and back. Just trying to figure out what works best for you. And then bending the knees generously, we'll walk the feet towards the hands at the top of the mat. Coming into a ragdoll fold, so feet can be about hip distance apart, bending the knees as much as you want, just holding opposite elbows, and really see if you can let go of the neck. Just notice if you are maybe still trying to hold the head up a little bit. See if you can let it go completely, maybe give it a little shake, maybe have a sway from side to side. And then releasing hands, and then slowly starting to roll all the way up to stand. Unraveling inch by inch till you come all the way up to stand at the top of the mat, rolling shoulders down and away from ears. Just take a moment here in mountain pose. Just really steady the feet. Hands down beside you, shining the palms forward. Gently close your eyes and just check in with how balanced you feel when you're doing this class. Again, noticing the body, notice how it's feeling, how much energy you've got. Gently opening your eyes. Just come into a little bit of a flow. Inhale, reaching the arms up, stretching up. Exhale, folding all the way down to the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, folding down. So bend the knees as much as you need to place the hands down. We're going to step back to a plank. And then exhaling down to the mat. So knees can come down first if you need. Otherwise it's high to low plank. Inhaling to cobra, tucking the elbows, lifting the chest. Trying to reach out forward so that we're not crunching the lower back. Exhale, fold, tuck the toes under and pushing back to that downward dog. From here, inhale, reach the right leg up behind you. And then exhale, squeezing the knee towards the chest and see if you can step it between your hands. It's perfectly fine to give it a little bit of help. Placing the back knee down, so left knee's down. And we're going to ground the left hand next to the foot and then open up with the right. So just think about keeping the right knee stacked over the ankle as we open up with the right arm. You can either stay here or maybe bending the elbow and wrapping the arm around the lower back. So we're trying to get a sense of rotating the chest to the right hand side as open as we can. And then inhale, reaching the arm back up if you did bend it, and then exhale, place it down, tuck the back toes, and then stepping it back to a downward dog. Onto the other side, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, draw knee towards the chest, step it through between the hands. Placing the right knee down, and your right hand's going to ground down underneath your shoulder. Left arm opens to twist to the left. Again, just noticing if this side it feels the same as the other, maybe a little bit different. Not better or worse, just different. And then if you like, bending the elbow, wrapping the arm around the lower back to help you open up a little bit more. On your next inhale, we can reach the arm up. Exhale, place the hand down. Tuck the back toes. Step it back to your downward dog. And then from here, this time we're going to walk the hands towards the feet at the back of the mat. So again, you can bend the knees as much as you need as you walk the hands in towards the feet. Let the body dangle. Any intuitive movements you need, so maybe swaying, moving the head around, maybe nodding the head, shaking the head. Release the hands and then slowly rolling up to stand. Rolling shoulders back and away from ears. So we should have ended up standing somewhere towards the back of our mat. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart. And then taking a step forward with the right foot. Turning the back foot out so it's about a 45-degree angle. Hips facing forward. So we're coming into our warrior one legs. So again, I want you to really tune into your body, into your physical body, into your Annamaya Kosha. And notice how the body's feeling. If your hamstrings are tight, if they feel fine, if it's putting any sort of strain on your lower back or your hips, just really noticing so that you can adjust in any way that you need. So for example, if your hamstring's feeling really tight, you might need to put just a tiny bend into the knee. From here, sweeping the arms up, looking up, and then bending into that front knee till it stacks over the ankle, coming into warrior one. So arms can either be shoulder distance apart, or you can bring the palms together, try and look up towards the thumbs if it's okay for your leg. Keeping the breath steady. And then drawing hands down to the heart, straighten that front leg. And then we're going to sweep the arms behind us. And you can either come into reverse prayer, if that's available to you. If it's not, you can either hold opposite elbows or push the fists together. This way you're still getting the engagement in the arms. So whichever version you've chosen, I've actually got a bit of an issue with my shoulder, so I'm going to go for pushing the fists together today. Inhale, lifting the chest, nice and long. Exhale, folding down in towards the right leg. Just think about keeping the arms engaged. So either pressing the palms together, pressing the fists together. Just try to lift the elbows away from the lower back. On your next inhale, we'll slowly roll it back up. Releasing the arms. And then think about taking the weight into your right leg. I'm going to step forward and then see if you can lift that left leg up and draw the knee in towards the chest. From here, bring the hands to the heart and then see if we can start to extend the left leg back, coming into warrior one. So really grounding down through the right foot, reaching the crown of the head forward, left heel back, engaging the core to protect the back. Just noticing how stable you feel. Notice if your breath changes, just try and keep breathing evenly. And then stepping that left foot back, straightening through the leg. And we're just going to step it back so that we're back at the back end of the mat, feet hip distance apart again, ready to come into the same on the other side. So just resetting the feet if you need to. And this time we'll be stepping forward with the left foot. So taking a step forward with the left, turning right toes out at an angle, hips facing forward again. Just spending a moment here just checking in with any sensations. Noticing any difference on the left side to the right. Sweeping the arms up, bending into the front knee. So for me, I'm definitely noticing that this side is way harder for me. You might be noticing that there's some differences for you, or it might feel exactly the same. Either arms shoulder distance apart or palms together. And straightening the front leg, draw the hands down to the heart, and then sweeping them behind you. So either reverse prayer, fists together, or holding opposite elbows. Whatever you did on the other side is probably going to be your option for this side. Take an inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine, and exhale, folding into the left leg. Deep breaths. And then on your next inhale, slowly roll it back up. Releasing the hands, taking the weight into that left foot. We're going to try and step it forward and balance again. So bending into the left knee as we step forward, and then see if we can draw the right knee up with us. Focus on really grounding down through the left foot. Try and find a point of focus on the floor or the wall in front of you. Imagine as you're breathing in and then sending it down your left leg to help stabilize you. And releasing the right knee, hands come to the heart. Carefully and slowly extending the right leg out behind you, coming into warrior one. So at most you're going to be parallel with the mat, really trying to create space and length between the crown of the head and the right heel. Keep breathing. And this time, rather than stepping back, we're just going to bring that right foot down to join the left at the top of the mat. Give the legs a little shake out if you need. Inhale, reach the arms up, stretch up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, folding it down. Ground the hands, step it back to your plank. And then exhale to lower down to the mat, knees first if you need, otherwise high to low plank. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And then on your next inhale, we'll reach the right leg up behind us. Exhale, this time we're going to draw it in and then step it to the outside of the right hand if you can. If not, transition any way that works for you. It doesn't have to be like this. And we'll place the left knee down again. So we're going to come into lizard pose. The right foot's on the outside of the right hand. This might feel quite intense already. It might feel enough already without having to go any further. If you need to pad your back knee out, you can fold the mat over or place a blanket underneath. So we're either staying here, or you may have the ability to either come down onto a block or all the way onto your forearms. But just try and stretch forward all the time, creating length. And again, just really check in with where your edge is on this pose. So if you take yourself in, you realise you've gone a little bit too far. Just don't be afraid to just back off a little bit. Just experiment, play around. A really surefire way of realising whether you've gone a bit too far is normally if your breath changes. If you suddenly feel like you're holding your breath, or it's a little bit difficult to breathe, your breathing's a bit more laboured, then maybe you've gone a little bit too far into the pose. And just easing yourself back up onto your hands if you did bring them down. And then from here, tuck in the back toes, and we're going to see if we can take a really big step with the left foot to the outside of the left hand at the same time. So we're going to turn the right heel in and the toes out and step the left foot forward to the same. Then drop the hips down into a yogi squat. If this didn't quite work out for you, don't worry. Again, transition in any way that you need to. And if you can't get down this low, or you need a bit of support, again, you can pop a block underneath just to prop up. You can sit on a cushion or a blanket. We're trying to keep the spine kind of lifted so we're not completely collapsing. And if you are sunk all the way down, the elbows are going to press the knees open. Just a couple more breaths here. And then placing the hands down, we'll just start to straighten the legs and then heel toe the feet back together. Folding in, and then slowly start to roll yourself all the way up to stand. Shoulders shrugged away. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold it down, plant the hands, stepping back to your plank, your last little flow. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up behind you. Exhale, stepping it forward to the outside of the left hand, and then placing the right knee down, and we're going to come into that lizard pose on this side. So just try and think about stacking the left knee over the ankle. So all the time in this practice, we're really aware of our physical body. And then you might be finding that this is enough already. Maybe you're coming down onto a block, or maybe even all the way onto your forearms. You're welcome to close your eyes. Try and keep the breath deep and steady. Imagine you're breathing into any areas that you're feeling the stretch, feeling this pose. And then easing yourself back up onto your hands if you did come down. This time we're going to step that left leg back to join the right. And then a little bit of intuitive, just swaying the hips from side to side, or maybe stretching across the spine, whatever you feel like you need. And from here, just adjusting so that your hands are under your shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to start by reaching the left arm up, and then exhale, stretch it underneath you, hovering off the mat. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, threading it through. One more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, threading through, and then just see if we can rest the ear and the shoulder down to the mat. And you're welcome to stay here. Or you have the option of maybe extending the right leg, pressing the toes into the mat. And finally, if you feel like you're balanced, you may like to extend your right arm up. Releasing the right hand down to the mat, releasing the knee, slowly unraveling, reaching the left arm up, and then placing it back down to the mat, just adjusting again so you're in line. And then we'll do the same on the other side, thread the needle on the other side. Inhale, reach right arm up. Exhale, threading it through and just hovering. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, threading through. Inhale, reaching up. And this time threading through and just seeing if we can bring our ear and our shoulder to the mat. Think about trying to keep our hips aligned over our knees. And then with the option, if you'd like to extend the left leg, pressing toes into the mat, maybe even opening up the left arm. release the fingers down to the mat, releasing the knee, unravel the right arm, reach it up, and then release it down to the mat. And then from here we'll just sit back onto our heels and extend the legs out in front of us. Okay, so we're going to take the legs wide as you would like, whilst trying to sit up tall. Okay, so starting off with a forward fold, straight forwards. Inhale, lifting the chest, exhale, nice flat back as we fold, or maybe it's more of a tilt forwards. Just really tuning into your body, noticing where your edge is. Gently walking the hands back in towards you. This time turning to face towards your right leg. So you're actually turning the torso towards the right leg. Inhale, lifting and lengthening, and exhale, folding over the leg. So you might want to just turn your palms facing up so that you're not really pushing or pulling, but we are trying to keep a flat back. So if you want to kind of reach it forward, you're trying to reach the crown of the head forward so that you're really stretching the spine. Gently coming back up, coming back to center. And this time the right arm is going to come to the inside of the right leg. So the elbow is just coming to the inside of the leg. And then we're going to open the chest up, reach the left arm up, and then as if we were reaching over towards the right toes. But rather than round in so that you can reach them, you actually want to just be completely open. So that might mean there's a bit of space. Don't worry about where you are in this pose. This is all just about feeling the sensations in your body. So really trying to open through the chest. Letting go of any expectation of where you're wanting your body to be in a pose and just letting it be where it is. More deep breaths. Gently coming back up, turning the torso to face towards the left leg now. Inhale, lifting and lengthening, exhale, folding in towards the left leg. So again, trying to really stretch the spine forward. Gently walking the hands back in towards you, unraveling. This time the left arm is going to come to the inside of the left leg. Because the right hand can start at the waist as you kind of twist to open up, and then reaching it up and over as if you're going to try and reach for those left toes but completely opened up. It's so tempting, I know, to just reach the toes, but just work on the opening. And coming back to center, gently coming back up. Bending the knees, bringing the legs in, and then you should be sitting with your feet on the ground, and just finding even weight across your sit bones. Just rocking your weight back onto the sit bones. You're going to bring fingertips down to the mat. And with boat pose, it can be very strong on if you've got any lower back pain or sensitivity. So again, I'm going to ask that you really honour your body in this one. We'll start off with just the arms. So the feet are going to stay grounded. You're going to rock the weight back onto the sit bones, keeping the spine nice and long so core is engaged. Reaching the arms out and think about really lifting up through the chest. Next, the fingertips will come down. I'm going to try the same but with the legs. So the hands are going to support us, using the core, lifting the legs. Now that might only be the feet an inch or so off the mat, or it might be up to parallel with the mat, or you might even be able to straighten the legs completely. Okay, placing them down. If you feel inclined to do so, we're going to put all of that together. Otherwise, just choose what is going to work for you and your body. So rocking the weight back onto the sit bones, either arms alone, legs alone, or we'll try both. So raising the legs, raising the arms, weight is on the sit bones and we're lifting through the chest, engaging the core, but still breathing. Remembering to breathe. 3 more breaths if you can. And then hugging the knees in towards the chest. Coming to lie on your back, so just bringing the feet back down, coming to lie on the mat. Picking up your right foot, placing the ankle just above the left knee. And see if we could just press that right knee open a little bit. And then release the pressure on the knee and just drawing left leg in towards you, maybe holding behind the thigh or the shin, or the foot can stay on the floor if it needs to. And just think about pressing that right knee away. So although we're not pressing on it with our hand anymore, just feel as though you're engaging it and pressing it away from you. Release the hold of the leg, release the foot down to the mat. And then releasing the right leg. Bring feet and heels together, arms out shoulder height, either fully extended or into a little T shape. Take an inhale at center and exhale, knees going to drop to the left hand side. So let's try and keep the right shoulder grounded, chest facing up towards the ceiling. Next inhale, we'll bring the legs back to center. So just grounding the feet back down. Picking up the left foot this time, ankle's going to come to the right knee. Using the left hand to just gently press the left knee open. Just noticing any sensations that brings up. Noticing where your edge is. Releasing the hand and we'll gently draw the right leg in towards you. So you can hold behind the thigh or behind the shin. Just feel as though you're still pressing that left knee open. release in the right leg. And then we'll take the left leg, place the foot down next to the right, so feet together, knees together, arms out shoulder height. We'll take an inhale at center, exhale, dropping the knees to the right hand side. Just trying to keep the left shoulder grounded this time. Slowing the practice down, ready to come into Shavasana. Just noticing any sounds around you, sounds that you can hear from outside, sounds that you can hear from within the room. Pressing back to center. Hugging the knees in towards the chest, have a little rock across the back. A rock from side to side or backwards and forwards, whatever feels right for your body. And then a tight squeeze into the chest with the knees. Maybe rolling your nose up towards the knees, final engagement of the core muscles. Big squeeze. And then releasing the legs, and we'll get ourselves ready to come into Shavasana. So extending the legs long. Allowing the feet to fall apart, arms down beside you with palms facing up, allowing yourself to take up some space. If you've got anything handy, you might like to cover yourself over with a nice cozy blanket, maybe an eye mask, anything you've got to hand. As we come into Shavasana, our final resting pose, just really noticing all the spots where your body is in contact with the floor. Letting your body feel completely heavy. Closing your eyes, letting your breath settle back down into its natural pattern. Feeling your forehead soften, allowing yourself to get completely heavy on the mat. And completely relax your body now from the top of your head to the tips of your fingers, to the tips of your toes. Just take you a few minutes now, soak in the benefits of your practice and simply breathe and be.
deeper now. So awareness back to the physical body. Maybe gently wiggling the fingers and the toes. Gently rolling the head from side to side. Gradually making the movements a little bit bigger, so maybe circling through the wrists and the ankles. Until it leads you into a nice full body stretch. And when you're ready, just gently rolling onto your side, curling up into a little ball. Or gently easing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Just gently reclosing your eyes if you had opened them. Bringing your hands together at your heart. And just taking a moment to check in with how you're feeling now compared with how you did at the start of class. And specifically how your physical body's feeling. So thinking about that Annamaya Kosha again, just checking in with any sensations, anything that's different from the start of class, anything you noticed. And then closing our practice with a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. May the peace of yoga stay with you. Namaste.